not sure where are others. Like some of you are especially asked to like shift the time to 11 a.m. and only two has joined it. Okay. Anyway, so let's start with a little recap. Maybe by that time we will complete the recap. People will join. Okay, so again, from the very beginning, first part is like we need to create a database. For creating database, simple command create database name. Second part is inside a database we can create multiple tables, right? We can create multiple table inside a database. For example, here we have if contact table and student table. So for creating a table, we have a command create table name. Create table name, and then in brackets we can put as many as columns as we want, like id int, student name varchar, marks int, maybe date of birth date, and like in this way we can have as many columns as we want. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, after creating the table, we have seen like how to insert data. For inserting data, like insert into, then table name, then we have to write the column names. It's not mandatory to write all the column names here. If I want to insert data in only two of the columns for a new row, I can just skip marks and it will also work. So it will create a student with id 1 Sachin, name is equal to Sachin, and marks will remain as null. Nothing, no value will be there in the marks. So that this is also possible. Otherwise you can like simply, if you want to fill all the columns, you can write all the column names. After that, we have we have also seen one more thing while yesterday class, that what are the different data types in PostgreSQL. So in PostgreSQL we have like int, we have varchar, we have big int, we have number numeric, and date, we have JSON, we have XML. So we have seen a lot many data types yesterday. Then we have seen the select query is like select, if tar is called all column, select all column from student. So it will print all the column names, like all the rows, all the column. And if I want to select only one column, I can simply write student name or whatever. So it will just print the student name. Then we have seen the order by clause, where we can order the uh, data, order will print the data in a sorted order, even in the descending order or ascending order, based on one column. So like this. Okay. Okay, so right now, as you can see, as a result of this query, I have ordered the marks by, I have ordered the record by marks and in descending order. That's why first of all 99 99, then 95 91, 92 92, and 91 91, right? Suppose I will write something like marks, order by marks, comma, student name. Notice on the these two records, Venkatesh and Virat for now. What is these are record, and now when I'm gonna run this query, and you will see it record in very different format, right? Give me a second. Let me write DESC here too. So now it is the Virat and Venkatesh. So the thing is, what is happening here? So if we will have, we can add order by with more than one column. So order by something comma something, like order by mark comma student name. It means first of all it will order all the records by marks, and if suppose more than one record are available with the marks, then it will by student name in descending order. I can remove this descending order, I can remove this descending order, and it will be like this. First of all, 91, 91, and inside 91, first Venkatesh, then Virat, because VE comes before VI. Then 90 to 99, then we have Rahul, then Rishabh, because RA comes before then RI. Similarly, Jasprit Saurav and Dinesh Sachin. Okay? Okay. Then yesterday we have seen update query. In update query, we have syntax like update table name, then set, then column name equal to something, where column name equal to something. So if I want to change the one of the column value for one of the row, we can put it like this: update table name set whatever column I want to change to the value, whatever new value I want to put. Then there must be a condition, because based on that those condition it will decide the rows, in which rows the data is going to be changed. It may be possible that if you don't write this condition, it will just set phone number of all the records to this. It's not a real case scenario. Usually we don't like this to change all the records at once. So where is like important in update query, and similarly in the delete query. So we have, if I want to delete the data from a table, I can write something like delete from student, like whatever the table name is. And remember, there's nothing something like the delete star from, it's delete from. So delete from student, and then we can add any condition, and based on the condition, how like whatever rows it will return, it will delete all the rows. Okay. After that, we have seen like how to use like. So let me give a short recap. Like is like where student name like Sachin, it just print Sachin. So it is doing an exact match as I told you yesterday. But suppose I want to print all the names which if start with Sachin, I can write S percentage, like S percentage. So it will give the all the name which starts with S. And if I write something like percentage N, it will give all the name ends with N, right? And suppose I want to print all the name which contains letter A, I can write percentage A percentage. Then we have read about like these types of logical operator and or. So we can have multiple condition separated by and or operator. And while using the logical operator, if we have like more than two conditions in single query, it's better to put brackets with each two condition. Like these two condition must be calculated first and then this. So this is the other thing. Apart from that, we have seen this one yesterday, the count. Suppose I want to count all how many students are there in the table, I can simply put something like count to start from asterisk, and it gives us there are 8 students. And I can also write something like count star from students where marks is greater than 94. So it will give the marks of the student, count of the student whose marks are greater than 94. So this is all like I think what we covered yesterday. So now I think we should start the new topics. Okay, it's if no one else joined. A lot of other people. Where are them? Anyways, let's continue. Okay, so today we will learn some more functions like count. Okay, so count is what it just does the counting of the number of rows present. It just does the number of counting number of rows present, like counting of number of rows present based on whatever the condition is there. Correct? So now we have many similar function like this. So let me show you something like select star from a student. So these are the if, ID, student name, then marks. Suppose I want to calculate the sum of marks achieved by each and every student, so like total marks of the full class. So I can write something like sum marks from student. So it will give the sum of the marks. So another function like count, we have another function called sum. Clear? Okay. Okay, what will happen if I will write something like student name here inside the sum function? It will simply give no function matches the given name and argument data. You must need to give explicit typecast, and it is saying function sum in brackets say I am passing a varchar and it does not exist. What it means simply that sum only supports the like numeric fields where it may be integer or it may be like a decimal point one like double float or numeric, but it doesn't support summing of the varchar thing. Okay, can I try the same here instead of start if I write like this? What does it mean? So let's remove this condition. I don't need it for now. So yeah, it is still working because the number of rows now number of rows in which student name is present. So in all name is present, right? So it's just give the result as 8. Now my question is that this is also giving result 8, correct? And that if I am writing a student name in count, that is also giving result 8. What is the difference between this and this? Anyone has any idea? What will be the difference between these two? Utkarsh, Vasanti? Yeah, those. Huh. Okay. I'm not talking about only one student. I have not written any student name like where student name equal to Sachin. So, but yeah, it will just select the student name column. But name right now. So let me provide you one example. Suppose I am gonna enter one more record here, and where I am just entering something like this ID comma marks, and I have added ID as 9. I have added marks as something 90 and just added it like this. So if I will see all the records of student table, it will show something like this, right? 9 and there's no value in name because I didn't give any value in the name, and then 90. So it is showing as null. So now if I do select count star from student, it will give 9 because there are 9 rows. But if I will do select student name from student, it is giving 8, because if there are only 8 student name, ninth is null, so there's no student name in ninth row, so it is just counting the student name available.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Yes, yes. Okay.
nice. Okay, let's remove this row for now, delete from student, where what I can do, like id equal to 9, it will simply delete it. Okay, let's try to enter one more value, student name, and suppose 9, then I am just adding one more value, like again adding Rahul. There's one more Rahul suppose in my class, so I am just adding something like this. So now it is printing like 9 rows, and you can see there are two Rahuls here, correct? Suppose now what I am gonna do, I am gonna select student name from student, then what will happen? It will just print all the student name and twice, because there are two rows with Rahul. So it is printing all the rows, but it is just making sure that it will print only one column. It is not printing any ID and marks with it, because I just selected only one column. Now, suppose I want to print all the student name, but do not print the name which are duplicate. It's like print all name. In that case, what I can add, like before this, is distinct. Like select distinct student name from student. So whatever the names present twice, it will print it only once. So instead of 9 records, there will be 8 records now. And you can see Rahul is only once. Correct? So this is another keyword which we called as distinct. This is not a function, this is a keyword. That's why it's not in bracket, like distinct in bracket student name. Whenever we are talking about function in SQL or in any language, function will have like these brackets after the function name. Any question yet? Vasanti, Utkarsh?
Sir, can you please say again?
Pardon?
Can you please say again this word?
Okay. So what I am saying that see, we have a thing called functions in most of the language. If you have learned any language, like it is C, Java, or any language, we have something called functions. In some language, we instead of function we call methods. Okay, so this functions or method always, if like after the function name, there is always a brackets.
That is okay.
Okay, so similarly in SQL, we have some function like we have count, we have sum. There are many more which I am going to tell you. So whenever we have bracket after this name, it's these are the functions like sum and count. But
Okay.
diff distinct, we don't write like this, right? We don't write like this. This for distinct we have to write like this. So distinct is not a function. This is the keyword. It doesn't matter for you. You just need to remember the syntax. It doesn't matter whatever is what is function and whatever it is not. Like in our practical life, when we will work for any project, it will important that we will just remember the syntax. Even if we don't need to memorize the syntax, obviously, if you just remember that there is the word distinct and what it does. At the time when you want to use it, you can Google it syntax. That's not a problem. But this is the thing that you just need to know. Then if I want
Yes.
to print a unique name or unique any column value, then there is the word called distinct which is available. How to use it? That is easily searchable.
Okay.
ओके, उत्कर्ष आपके पास कोई क्वेश्चन है तो पूछ लेना यार। क्लियर है अब तक?
नहीं सर, अभी तक तो कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है, अभी क्लियर है।
नाइस। Okay, then moving to next function. Suppose I am I want to print the length of I want to find the length of the name of Rahul or every student name. I can write something like length student name. So this is the next function. If I want to find length of any string, I can write like this. So Rahul and all. So I am just trying to print length of all the names. So it is printing like this. Now it is printing 6, but Rahul has 5 only, right? Because we just printed the length, we don't know like whose length it printed. So if I want a better result, I should write like this. As I said yesterday, that in database, in any table, we will never say that records are in this order. So ordering this row appears first, it doesn't mean that that row is like sit before the second row. It could be possible that when you run it second time, the second row appear first. Ideally it is not happening, but yeah, we can't always rely on our SQL server whatever we are using to be sure that in what order we inserted the record, it is present in the same order. So that's why I added this column ID, so that we can always order by records. Anyways, so this will provide a better result. So now it is showing something like Sachin contains 6 length. Sachin has 6 characters, Rahul has 5 characters, Venkatesh has 8 characters, Saurav has 6 characters, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the like next function called length. Now comes to suppose I want to find the length of only Sachin. So I can simply write something like this. Okay. Now what I wanted to do, next function is like we have Sachin, right? Now what I'm gonna do is adding is trim. So next function is trim. Trim means okay. What trim usually do in most of the programming language, I will tell you. Suppose I have a string, something like this. Uh, okay, suppose I have a string like this. What trim does with the div string, it usually removes the spaces at the beginning, at the end. So the main motto of any trim function is to remove something from the beginning and something from the end. And it usually remove spaces, usually used to remove spaces, but it doesn't mean that it can only remove spaces. So we can remove any leading thing or any trailing thing from a string using trim. So even trim function you can find in most of the language, not in SQL. You can find it in Java, .NET, Python, and any other language in JavaScript. Everywhere like trim function is available. In PostgreSQL, how to write trim function? It's something like this. So all my student name doesn't contain any space, right? None of the student name contains any space. But if I want to trim, you like show you trim, I can trim something like leading. I can write leading S from student name. So what it will do, it will trim leading S from Sachin. So if I simply remove this condition, so it removed S. If there is a S in the name at the beginning, it removed that S. So Sachin becomes Achin and this is Oro. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Similarly, we have a word called trailing. inside trim function we can use either leading or trailing, and then we need to write some character. I can write space if I want to remove space. Suppose I want to remove trailing n, so instead of Sachin it will become SCHI because n has been removed. Okay, so this is about trim. Next important function is upper and lower. So if I want to like print all the student name in upper cases, it will print it like this, upper. Similarly, if I want to make sure that every character will be printed in lowercase, it will print it like this, lower. You must have noticed that this is the second column is getting printed because I have selected this. I can simply remove this and it will print it like this. Okay. Any question yet on trim, upper, lower? Nope.
No, sir.
Nice. Okay. Then let's try to the next thing is select. Then there's a function called lpad, and suppose I am writing a student name and 20 comma, suppose I write space from student. So what this will do, so let's take a better example. Instead of space I am writing something like this, it will print better, it will be displayed better. This is simply kind of confusing. So if I click on this, okay, if I click on this you can see Sachin is still there, but there are a lot of spaces at the beginning. Okay, so instead of the space I print 0 so that it will shown here. I don't want to click each and every record, so it will print like this, correct? So now what is happening here, lpad is left padding. So this sentence is saying, this lpad 20 comma 0 is saying each student name should be printed in 20 characters. And suppose a name contains 5 characters, like suppose a name contains 6 characters like Sachin, then print first 14 characters as 0, then the name. 14 characters as 0, then Rahul. For character will be 0 and then Venkatesh, right? So total length of the result, total length of each result should, and anything like if a length is less than 20 it will add the beginning. Okay, so this is what L pad doing, it's a like left padding. Similarly we have a right padding. In case of right padding it will do something like this. Clear? Any okay, now the thing is like what is the use of this lpad and write rpad function, right? Because this is kind of something confusing, why we even need this lpad and rpad function. So let me show you an example. Suppose in this example we have this, and let me add suppose in some of the cases it happens uh, like you are, if right in this table we have like just id, student name and marks. Suppose we have another table where we are storing some transaction details, or yeah, some transaction details, and we have something called order number or invoice number or something like that. Whatever like order number, invoice number we usually put, it's always like some fixed length character. Suppose we are creating a system, we are creating an application where we generate the order number of like or when I am talking about order number, I am saying suppose I am just creating an application for a restaurant where whatever the order the customer places, we give them a specific number. and we make sure that all of the order number are will be in 5 digit starting from 40 comma 1, right? And if I want to make sure that every order number will be in 5 digit, printed in 5 digit, suppose for like when order number will become 101, it should be printed as 00. In these type of scenarios, LPAD will be a useful thing. We always want to print our order number in 5 digit. We don't want it like this. And there can be many reasons why we want it like this, because it's easier for all the software, all the applications to read the data, and like when it the data is in exact same format for all the rows. Like suppose some format is like saying 1, another row saying 101, another row saying 11111, so it becomes harder to read even for a human. Like it's easy if you will write it something like this and then like this, right? So in these types of cases, when there are some cases when we intentionally want to append a string with leading spaces or leading zeros, it will be really helpful. So this is the example of lpad and rpad. The next function I'm gonna tell is replace. So next function is like replace. Here we can give any string. The student name is a string, and then what I want to replace, I want to replace s with g. So it's, you can see s for Sachin replaced by g. Wherever s appears, it is replaced by g. Like Saurav becomes Gaurav. In this way, all the this is how we can replace one character of a string with another set of characters. We can even write two characters. Like I can remove, like sa will be replaced by uh, I can say just kk or anything. So this will also work. So wherever SA is present, it has been replaced by double letters kk. So we can also use multiple characters in these functions. Okay. So this is replace. Another important, not this is not much important, but yeah, another function is reverse. I don't see the usage of this in real world applications, but this is like sim. If I want to reverse a string, looks simple, right? What it does. Okay, one important function is select. This is substring. So substring is an important function. Let me tell you what it does. So suppose there is a name Sachin, where and if I am writing something like this, what it will do. So substring is used to find the part of a string. So if student name Sachin contains 5 character. Now what I have mentioned, 1 comma 3, these two argument tells. First argument is like from where the starting position of the substring we want to find out. Substring is to find the substring from a string. So first, like from string till the next 3 characters. So student name 1 comma 3 becomes SAC from Sachin. Suppose I am writing 2 comma 3, then what it will print? Any answer from Utkarsh, Vasanti, Gaurav, anyone?
AC. Yes, sir.
So okay, so it will print ACH. So
Three.
characters.
Three. Okay. Three.
Okay, 3 is the number of characters it is gonna print. It's not like the starting and ending position. It is starting position, comma, the number of characters.
Okay.
Okay. So and this is a really important function. It like we usually use this function in many application, you will notice. So reverse, I don't see much use of reverse function, but lpad, rpad, count, sum, and substring, these are important functions. Okay, yeah, between good morning Ayush.
मॉर्निंग सर.
कहाँ यार, 11:50 हो रहा है, आपने 11 करवाई क्लास, सबको चेंज करवा के और गायब हो गए. नो वन ज्वाइंट, केवल वी हैव उत्कर्ष एंड वसंती. एनीवेज, सो व्हाट वी कवर्ड येट, हमने अभी ढेर सारे फंक्शन देखे हैं. एक छोटा सा नाम बता देता हूँ, आप एक बार वीडियो देख लेना, मैं सेंड कर दूंगा, अपना शेयर कर देंगे ग्रुप पे. तो अभी तक हमने ये मेथड्स देखे हैं: काउंट, सम, लेंथ, सब स्ट्रिंग, ट्रिम, अपर, लोअर, एलपैड, आरपैड, रिप्लेस एंड रिवर्स. तो ये कुछ फंक्शंस हमने अभी यहाँ पे ट्राई करके देखे हैं. मैं नाम यहाँ पे भी सेंड कर देता हूँ चैट पे. ओके, नाउ कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछता हूँ, आप लोग को आंसर करना है. तो जो भी करना चाहे कर सकता है, क्वेश्चन है, लेकिन हाँ बस सब शांत मत रहना. सो लेट मी आस्क यू अ क्वेश्चन. सो माय क्वेश्चन इज, suppose I want to print all the records from student table for the students Sachin, Saurav and Rahul, for only three names. I want to print all the record. I don't want to print all the 8 rows. I want to print only 3 rows with names Sachin, Saurav and Rahul. So what will be the query? Anyone? Is my question clear?
Can you pardon again?
Okay. So my question is, I want to print all the columns with n- all the rows with the names Sachin, Saurav, and Rahul, and we need to print all the columns, not only the name and anything. So I need all the columns, but rows will be only where the name is Sachin, Saurav, or Rahul. So what will be the query?
Select student name from
Select.
student where student name like um, Rahul and Sachin is percentage yes.
Uh,
Yes, yes,
क्या क्या
yes, percentage.
क्या Vasanti, can you try typing it in like a Google chat?
No, sir, actually I'm
Oh,
using
okay, yeah,
Google Chat.
you're from. Okay,
Yeah.
so okay, so okay, tell me, repeat it once.
Um,
And anyone else? So this question is for everyone.
Brace student name. Brace means brace student name
Like
like guess percentage
S percentage.
and marks. Rahul marks was actually I didn't know.
Oh,
Not Rahul.
okay. Anyways, see, if we something like this, it what it will do, it will print all the name if start with S. What I am asking, I need name if to Saurav, Sachin, and Rahul. And I
I
also
am thinking maybe we will mention the Rahul marks or something after that. Then it will print Rahul name also.
okay. So maybe something like or. Okay. Anyways, let's ask others. Anyone else want to answer this? Okay, nice. Okay.
So we can take the second alphabet as common A.
No, no. So whatever you have written, this is like it will print all the student name where student name starts with letter S, right? And okay, and this single quote will not be required. Okay, so my question is what the result I wanted is like one Sachin and whatever his marks, two Saurav and whatever his marks, three Rahul and whatever his marks, something like that, right? So that's what I need total three records Sachin, Saurav, or Rahul, and these are even huh,
Select star from student,
yeah.
their student name like percentage A and percentage. Maybe between the A will come, na?
Okay,
So
so okay,
between
okay. Now let me tell you one thing. When I okay, before telling you the answer, anyone else want to try? Ayush or Utkarsh? Ayush, even you can try. It's from yesterday class only, nothing from the today's class. Okay, it doesn't seem so. Okay, anyways, so the thing is, when I am asking about the fixed name, I am asking about the three names Sachin, Saurav, and Rahul. So there is no need to write something percentage because I am asking about the fixed name. I can simply write something like this: if student name equal to Sachin. Select star from student where student name equal to Sachin or student name equal to Saurav or student name equal to Rahul.
we need to write in yeah.
Pardon?
No, no, actually we need to write three names
Yeah, yeah, that's right, that's
yeah.
right. But the thing is, suppose in our student table we have thousands of entries. We don't know how many names start with us. There may be chances that we have like a thousand, hundred of names starts with us. And if someone is asking for you only Sachin and Saurav, you need to make sure only Sachin and Saurav will appear because see, in this case, currently you can see the data that we have only 8 rows, and you may know that there are only two words start with S. But in a real world scenario, whenever someone asks you a question, you can not never be sure of like how many records data in the table. For currently, there are 9 rows in the table. Maybe someone will enter 10 more rows in next hour, and it may contain any number of rows. So if someone wants record only for Sachin, Saurav, and Rahul,
Full name.
we need to make sure that we write the full name because
Yes.
we can never rely like whatever how much data is present in the table. So whatever you are doing, that's not wrong, but yeah, this is the way. Okay, and whatever you guys were trying to do, we can write something like this, like where student name like this, or student name may be equal to Rahul for Rahul. So this will also give the same result, but only for this table.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
the
sir.
name start with student, name start with S, or name end with Rahul.
But actually, any particular person's result name means this we can do dot length. Means we need to mention that name.
Yeah, yeah,
Whether
yeah.
it
If
is
that right, right. So if you have yeah, like if you will be asked for a some particular column value for particular name, you need to write the full name. You should not write the like something like this. Okay.
yes, sir. Yes.
Now my next question is, or not even a question. So right now I wanted three records, and I have to write where student name equal to Sachin, or student name equal to Saurav, or student equal to Rahul. Suppose I have 10 names which I want to print record. I have to write it like or student name equal to this, or student name equal to this. So this looks like weird syntax. I have to write the student name every time, right? Instead of this, there is one more syntax for doing such thing. What is that? Where student name in, and then I can put a bracket and I put a name like this Sachin, comma Saurav, comma Rahul. Okay.
We need use function, right?
Yeah, it's exactly not a function, but yeah, because you can see we can
We
also
use the base, I mean, yeah, full of the information we would need to use only one function.
yeah, yeah, right. So in is like instead of putting or condition or logical operator with different equal condition, we can simply write in like it's like I am trying to find all the records based on a certain set of the data. Like I have a set of data and I just want to get the records which exist in that set of data. Suppose I have written Sachin, Saurav, Rahul, and suppose I have written ABCD. ABCD is not even present in our student table, but it will not give any error. That's not a problem. It will, if ABCD is present in our database, it will. But if it is not, then it's fine. What it is doing, it is trying to print all. It is trying to find all the students where student name in any of these. So it's kind of set. It's kind of array, and it query is trying to find the student names in this array. So in this array we have like Sachin, Saurav and Rahul which is present in our database and it is printing only those three. Okay.
Okay.
So okay, so this is like this in is also a useful query. Okay. Okay, give me a minute. Let me create some new table. So I have created a table called Sally Ledger. In Sally Ledger, we have four columns. We have ID, we have a name, like name of the person, the amount of Sally credited to that person's, and the department of that person. Okay, so let's insert some data. Insert into Sally Ledger, ID, comma name, comma Sally, comma department. Then we have suppose 20,000 0.05 anything like this your department for HR. Similarly, let's make 4 5 entries. So 35,000 0 0. Okay, leave it as a chance. For Rahul, 15,000 and I can just yes, anything like that. Then we have question. To again we have one more salary. Okay. Okay, so what diff table is all about? Salary ledger. So it's like that. What I want to create whenever I provide salary to one of my employee, I will make an entry here. Okay, so diff table contains a ledger of all the salary provided to the employees. So what it says that I provided salary to Sachin like of 20,000.05 and he's from HR department. So I added like this. Then I have provided salary to 35,000 to Saurav in HR department. I made an entry like this. I provided salary 15,000 to Rahul. I made an entry like this. Then I provided salary 12 12500 to Rishabh. I made an entry. Then maybe in next month or maybe after some days, I provided 30,000 salary again to Sachin, and I added one more entry, right? So every time I provide salary to an employee, I am gonna make an entry in this table. So this is an example. Now let's run this and we will see. Select all from salary ledger. आ, हाँ बढ़िया क्वेश्चन सही है लेकिन सपोज आई वांट अगर मैंने यहाँ पे सचिन को 20 राउंड सैलरी दी थी मैंने उसकी सैलरी अपडेट की सो अगर अपडेट करेंगे देन इफ यू विल यूज अपडेट हेयर इट विल व्हाट इट विल डू इट विल अपडेट द ओरिजिनल रिकॉर्ड सो इफ आई वांट टू like store the salary of the each person like if I want to store like whatever how much salary person needs to get then it's fine that I am just updating the value. I am like kind of saving how much salary he needs to receive. But this is not a like record of how much salary someone wants or someone will need. It's a record. It's a like whatever salary has been credited to the account. So it's a ledger. It's a ledger. Like every time I give a salary, I want to make a record. Suppose at the end of like 5 months, I want to know how much salary I have already given to Sachin. So I cannot update those records, right? So it depend it all it's all what all it depends on the business logic that what you need while creating an application. You first need to understand the business logic what why we are creating this table. So in some cases like what you have mentioned that we can update the salary, in some cases there may be possible we don't even need to like make a ledger, we don't need to make a record of whatever salary has been provided. In that case we don't need a ledger and we may just save the whatever amount is the current salary of an employee. So in that case we can update the salary, but this is a different case. Okay. ठीक है तो यहाँ पे हमने देखा सैलरी लेजर में वी हैव लाइक हाउ मेनी एंट्रीज वी हैव 7 एंट्रीज राइट नाउ. Now suppose the thing is I want at the end of like these all 7 entries at the end of 2 months or 3 months, I want to know how much salary I have given to each employee. So from this table I can see I have given Sachin 20,000 plus 30,000 plus 5,000, it will be like 55,000 something, right? Correct.
Yes, sir.
And how much salary I have given to Rahul?
25,000.
25,000. Uh, yeah, 25,000.05. That's correct answer. So now how I can do the same thing from a SQL query. So in this case we will learn some new thing sub which is called, okay, so what I'm gonna do something like name comma sum of salary from salary ledger. So sum of salary, like we have previously seen in this session only, that sum does the sum of the all the columns. If I write something like this, sum of from salary, so it will do sum of all this number, right? But we don't need this. What we don't need this. Suppose if I write name comma salary ledger, then what it will do? It will print. It is not doing anything, right? Because it is not allowing you, because you are also trying to print, like you are also trying to sum all the columns, and you are also trying to print a name along with it. So this is not right. So how to use it? I have to write something like group by name. Now you will see. Okay. So whenever I want to do these types of operation, like I want to count the number of things, I want to do sum along with something. Like I want to, like here, I wanted to know that how much salary, how much total salary I have given to Sachin, how much total salary I have given to Saurav, how much total salary I have given to Rahul. So what I did, I grouped the salaries by name, and then I selected name and sum of salary. So now 50,000.05 as you said. Sachin has 55,000.05 as I said. So what group by does? Group by is like to make sure that all the data, all the identical data can be grouped together based on some column. So I have written a column named name. So all the identical data are grouped together. So Sachin will be grouped together. And here I am doing a sum of the salary. So it is doing the sum of all the three rows where Sachin is. Okay. Okay. So like this is how we can use group by and along with the functions some. Similarly we can also do the count. I want to know how many times I have given salary to my employees. So you can see like Rahul got 2 times, Rishabh got 1 time, Sachin got 3 times, and Saurabh got 1 time. You may notice that I cannot add any other column here. Suppose I will try to add id comma name, it will not allow you, it will give the error. So this is a syntax that while using group by, when you are trying to use group by, then whatever the column name I have written after group by, I can only use that column name here. Inside count I can use, like inside any function I can use any column name, but apart from that function, if I want to print any column name, it can be only that column name which is present after group by. And you will know you can like understand the reason automatically. Suppose I want to print it something like this. For right now, let me show you the result. Name. So it is showing Rahul F2, like Rahul got the salute 2 times. If I will print something like this, ID. ID is like different for different record. So for Rahul, it will be like 2 and 6. So how even it can print the ID 2 and 6 in the same row? Because there is only one row for Rahul, because we have grouped the record by name. So in the same row, we cannot have like two IDs, like 3 and 6. So 3 and 6 cannot come together with Rahul. That's why it's not even allowing you. What you can do something like this, count ID. So it will print 2 comma Rahul comma 2, but it doesn't make any sense. Okay. So yeah, like this is how we can use group by along with the some functions. Okay. Okay, then I think like we have covered many functions today. Apart from some keywords like distinct, we have covered group by. I believe we should not continue today for more time, although it's not even 1 hour has been completed. But the thing is, like, no one, not many people are here. We have only two or three. Even Utkarsh left in between, and apart from that, and no one of you has been practiced yet. So if I will like just complete all the things and you will not practice it, any one of you, then it will become a problem. I'm sure that by next session, if you will not practice the things whatever I have already taught you, no one will understand next thing in any next session. So please make sure install the PostgreSQL or MySQL or whatever the SQL you want to use, and try to run all of these queries. These queries are not as easy as it looks like. So it looks like that, oh yeah, this is easy, this is count, this is group by, everything looks easy. But when you start working on it, and you will keep forgetting the syntaxes, you will keep forgetting what it does, it will become difficult if you will not do practice. But if you will do practice, literally it is nothing much, it's very easy. So make sure do some practice before the next session. Otherwise, what will happen? See, as I told you in the very first class, don't take it as a normal lectures of college lectures. In college lectures, uh, you must have already studied all the things, all the SQL, all the coding language, and all the thing. But if you are, anyways, you are doing an internship, you are paying something extra. It's better that you will finally learn something from here, and you can learn something from here only when you will practice along with it. Ideal way of this session is that you all have a laptop during this session. You all have the SQL server or Postgres open in your system, and at the same time when I am typing the query, you should also type the query at the same time. Then you will get better results. Because what will happen, I teach you something here, I don't know even any one of you has the writing in notepad or not. But if you will not write it, how can you will even remember it? Even if I will share the video, there are a lot of chances that no one will see that video. So I'm not sure how it's gonna work, but yeah, make sure that get some time to do the practice. Otherwise, it will become everything will become in vain. So make sure I can see that no one has practiced yet. So again, I'm just saying I don't want to take this lecture for more 1 more hour. Let's keep this at end, and we can continue in the next session or next weekend. But make sure practice it before the next weekend. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, please, everyone, like Vasanti, I should please try to get the system and practice.
Yeah, sure, sir, definitely. Actually, my mission gives trouble to me
No,
sometimes.
no, no problem, no problem. Understood. But yeah, whenever you get the system, try to do the things. And whenever you are trying, and if you will face any problem, feel free to like ask questions on the WhatsApp. It's not a problem that it's not a weekend. You cannot ask question. You can ask question anytime. Hmm.
Okay, sir, thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah, even if we will require like any Google Meet session for 10 or 15 minutes, we can do that. So that's not a problem. Just let me know when you will have any question.
Okay, sir.
Okay, yeah. Okay then. Thank you. Anyone has any question on any topic what we discussed today or yesterday? ठीक है. Okay.
मैंने तो वो सर आज मेरा छूट गया है सारे फंक्शंस कहाँ से पढ़ सकता हूँ मैं?
मैंने मैंने जो फंक्शंस नेम अभी आपको वो पिंग किया ना